You can't start a 2025 filmmaking career with a 2015 mindset. Too many beginning filmmakers are stuck doing things the old way, just picking up a camera, shooting random videos and hoping somebody notices. But there's a new type of filmmaker who's actually winning, and I call them a visionary filmmaker. They have a new mindset, they have the confidence and tools to grow their career. And here's everything you need to know when starting your career, especially as a beginner filmmaker. So in the very beginning, I was in 4th grade when filmmaking first caught my attention. Back then, I didn't know anything about cameras, lighting, editing scripts. All I knew was that I loved telling stories, and the only tool I had to capture those stories was my mom's phone. I would take her phone whenever I had the chance to record little movies, nothing fancy. Sometimes I would grab my action fingers and set them up like they were characters in a real film, and I move them around, make up voices, and try to create stories. Other times, I would pretend I had my own Disney Channel show. I make fake commercials and try to mimic what I saw on TV. And of course, the videos wasn't great, but they were mine. Those little projects gave me the very first taste of what it felt like to create something out of nothing. Looking back now, that season taught me something huge. You don't need a fancy camera. You don't even need a studio. All you need is a courage to pick up what's in your hand and press record. And that's what's planted the seed of filmmaking in me. So as I got older, my curiosity from filmmaking grew. By the time I got to high school, I finally had the chance to take a real film class, and that's where things started to click. So in class, we weren't just learning from a book, we were actually making videos. We created PSAs, little horror skits, and even music videos, and every project gave me a new skill. One week I learned how to frame a shot, another week I learned how to cut clips together in editing. But more than the technical side, I learned a lesson from my teacher that has always stuck to me ever since to this day, and he always said, the best way to learn filmmaking is just by doing it. You see, that one line shaped my entire journey. I realized that you can read about filmmaking all day, but the real growth comes when you actually make something. Every time you press record, you learn. Even when you mess up, you learn. See, that class gave me the confidence. It made me believe that this wasn't just a hobby, it could be something bigger. Quick note, if you're listening right now and want to go deeper with me, I got a free newsletter where I share updates, advice, and even job opportunities for my project. It's my way of helping beginner filmmakers grow. Now I gotta be real, just as I love filmmaking, I didn't always give it my full focus. For a while, basketball took up most of my time. I thought maybe that was gonna be my path. And maybe you've been there too. Maybe you just got two different hobbies, interests, or distractions just pulling you in other directions. That's okay. The truth is sometimes your passion takes time to grow, but when it's real, it's always there to back you up. And maybe you've been there too. Maybe you got different hobbies, interests, or distractions pulling you in other directions. And that's okay. The truth is sometimes your passion takes time to grow, but when it's real, it always finds a way back to you. At the beginning of 2020, I came across a flyer for something called Campus Movie Fest. It was a short film competition where students could submit projects. That flyer changed everything. I hit up one of my friends and he brought his auntie's DSLR camera. We had no idea what we were doing, but we decided to write a script based off the Langston Hughes poem, Kids Who Die. We shot it, edited it, and submitted it. And guess what? We did not win, but we ended up winning people's favorite. That moment was huge for me. It was a standing ovation. And when I was stood there on stage, realizing that people connected with something we made, and it hit me. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. After that win, me and my friends decided to make things official. We created a production company called Vandalism Productions. See, at first, we shot short films and reached out to local artists. We offered to shoot their music videos for free just to practice and get experience. Eventually, one person offered us a $50 shoot for a music video. So it wasn't much, but that $50 meant everything. It proved that people were willing to pay for a video. Over time, I realized something important. Music videos wasn't what I wanted to do long term. They were fun, but they didn't line up with the kind of stories I wanted to tell. Then one day, my friend's uncle decided to shoot a feature film. We jumped in to help, and that film made $100,000 in its first month. And through that experience, we met new people who connected us to bigger opportunities. See, those connections led us to a TV network internship. The producers there showed us the ropes of the film industry that gave us the behind the scenes insight we never could have learned in school. That internship eventually opened the door for us to work at Kevin Hart Studios on season 2 of Die Hard. Think about that for a second. I went from making fake Disney Channel shows on my mom's phone to interning at Kevin Hart Studios. And it all started because I kept saying yes to opportunities even when I did not feel ready. After those experiences, we decided to push ourselves even further. We wrote our first feature film called For the People. It took us 6 months to finish the script. And to fund the project, we asked friends and family for help. Together, we raised $3,000 to shoot a proof of concept. Those days were wild. We barely slept at one point. I only got 6 hours of sleep in 4 days of shooting. We were casting actors, finding crew members, locking down locations, shooting scenes back to back to back. And on the way home, we even got a flat tire. Here's my friend sleep because we were just tired. But even with all the chaos, it was worth it. That project showed me that when you have a dream, you do whatever it takes to bring it to life. Eventually, me and my friend had a more disconnect. We're still friends today. We just wasn't on the same page anymore in that business. So we ended our production company. That was tough, but it pushed me to something new on my own. That's when I launched my media agency called Sunray Vision Films. Now I had full control over the content I created, but the journey still wasn't easy. I was cold emailing businesses, posting videos online, making free content, walking to real estate offices, and trying to convince people to give me a chance. At the same time, I was fighting for my sister's life as she battled cancer. And on April 27th, this year, unfortunately, she passed away. See, that broke me for a moment and I thought my life was over. But then I remember a promise I made to her that I would keep going, that I would make it. That promise gave me the strength to keep moving forward, even when everything inside me wanted to quit. After that, I doubled down on what I truly wanted, and that was creating narrative style commercial for brands and films. One of my first big chances came with Red Lobster. I shot, edited, and delivered the commercial in just 2 days. That video actually went viral when I posted it, getting over 500,000 views. I was not expecting that big. And because of that one video, I ended up meeting with the head media of Red Lobster. B&W reached out to me and other brands started hitting me up. And soon I was started contracts worth $6,000 and more. And all happened because I made a decision to put out my very best work no matter what. So this is my story from a kid in 4th grade playing with action figures to working with major brands like Red Lobster and B&W. But here's the real point. If I can start from zero, so can you. You don't need fancy gear. You don't need a big crew, you just need to start. First things to start is beginnings in the mind. Before you touch a camera, before you open and edit an app, before you even write a script, filmmaking starts in your mind. You have to become the person who believes you can make films. That's the first step. Think about it. Every filmmaker you look up to, Steven Spielberg, Ryan Coogler, Spike Lee, Christopher Nolan, they all started the same way. None of them were born with cameras in their hands. None of them were handed $1 million budgets at the beginning. They all started with belief. They believed it was possible for them. And here's the key. If someone else has done it, you can do it too. The fact alone proves it's possible. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to trust that the same path is available to you if you're willing to walk it. So when you're catching yourself thinking, who am I to be a filmmaker? Flip that thought instead. Why not me? That's the mindset shift that separates people from dreaming about making films from people actually making films. And here's the next thing. Don't try to figure this out by yourself. I'll be honest, I made this mistake at first. I tried to learn everything on my own. I stayed up late watching tutorials. I went through what I call YouTube University. And while that gave me some knowledge, it also cost me time, energy, and frustration. When you do it alone, you waste money on gear you don't need. You waste time trying to solve problems that someone else already solved. And you waste your peace of mind because you're always second guessing yourself. What changed everything for me was finding mentors, people who were already where I wanted to be. Once I started following someone who knew the industry, I realized something important, that I was valuable. See, that boosted my confidence. It made me stop playing small. It showed me that shortcuts exist, not shortcuts in the sense of cheating, but shortcuts in the sense of learning from other people's experiences instead of repeating their mistakes. If you're just starting out, don't isolate yourself. Find people to learn from. That might be a teacher, an older filmmaker in an online course, or even me. In fact, below this video, I got a link where I invite beginning filmmakers to walk with me for 90 days. It's a mentorship journey where I give you practical steps, personal feedback, and help you progress in your career. If that's something you need, the link's down there waiting for you. And one of the best advice I've learned is simple. Being consistent and fully committed. Filmmaking is not about one lucky break. It's about showing up over and over again every time you practice, sharpening the skills. Every video you make, even the ones that flop, pushes you forward. See, consistency builds momentum and momentum creates opportunities. The more you stay consistent, the more people start noticing you. At first, you'll feel invisible. You post videos and get 5 views. You'll send emails and get ignored. But if you keep showing up, one day those same people will come to you. And that's how it happened for me. When I was consistent, I stopped chasing and people started reaching out to me instead. Now on to the practical steps. Everything you need is already in your pocket. Here's the biggest myth, that you need expensive gear to start. Nope, all you need is already in your pocket, your phone. Think about it. A phone today has better video quality than professional cameras from 25 years ago, 30 years ago. You can shoot, edit, upload all from the same device. And when I started, I didn't have the latest camera. I didn't have the lights or the fancy microphones. I had a phone and an idea, and that's enough to get started. So stop waiting until you can afford the perfect setup. Start with what you have right now. Stop thinking about what you don't have and think about what you do have. Next thing you need to do is decide on your lane. Filmmaking has many lanes. You could shoot weddings, commercials, documentary, YouTube videos, short films, music videos, feature film. And at first you might experiment with a little bit of everything. And that's okay, but eventually you need to pick a lane. Why? Because clarity brings growth. When you know your lane, people know what to come to you for. If you're the commercial guy, brands will call you. If you're the wedding filmmaker, couples will hire you. So ask yourself, what kind of film do I actually want to make? What stories light me up? That's your lane. Once you know your lane, you have to know your audience. In business, we call this your dream avatar. Your dream avatar is the person you're making videos for. If you want to work with brands, your dream avatar might be the head of marketing at a company. If you want to do music videos, your avatar might be a local artist trying to blow up. If you want to do weddings, your avatar might be engaged couples. Knowing your avatar changes everything, because when you know who you're talking to, you can shape your message to fit their needs. Next, you need to know your message. Along with knowing your avatar, you need to know your message. What do you want your films to say? What do you want people to feel when they watch your work? When I figured this out, it helped me create content that stood out. My message wasn't just to hire me. It was about telling stories that connect, inspire, and move people. Your message becomes your compass. It guides the kind of projects you'll take, the style you'll use, and the way you communicate. All right, once you start doing all that, the next thing you do is staying organized. When juggling multiple projects, ideas, and clients, it's easy to get overwhelmed. That's why staying organized is key. Personally, I use a tool called Notion. It's a free app that lets me keep track of scripts, shot lists, client notes, and project deadlines. And no, I'm not sponsored. Unless Notion, you want to hit me up, go ahead, hit me up. See, the point is, find a system that works for you. The more organized you are, the more professional you'll look, even as a beginner. And one of the best ways to grow, though, is through passion projects. These are projects you make for free, not for money, but for practice and to attract your dream clients. For example, if you want to work at Nike, you make a fake Nike commercial. If you want to do weddings, shoot a style wedding video with a friend, or find somebody to offer to do a free wedding video for them. When I did this to change my career, I treated those passion projects like real client work. Because of that, real clients actually notice. And here's some of the tools I use to create my passion projects. So I use shotdeck.com to get inspiration for shots. It's like a library of movie stills where you can search by color, angle, or style, even more. And I also use Epidemic Sounds to find music. Music always inspires my edit. So I pick songs that set the mood and then build a video around that. No, not sponsored, but y'all can please hit your boy up. So your passion projects show people what you're capable of, even before they hire you. Next thing you need to do is leverage the people around you. You don't have to do everything yourself. In fact, filmmaking works best when you leverage the people around you. Chances are you know someone who has a camera, or someone who can act, or someone who is good at editing. Bring them into your projects. The more like-minded people you collaborate with, the better your films will be, because you'll each bring something to the table and your strengths will cause everyone else to grow. And then you'll surround yourself with people who have the same goals. Together you'll push each other further than you could go alone. Now here's where things get practical. Once you made a project, don't just post it and hope someone sees it. Actively reach out to brands. I use a site called hunter.io. It lets you find emails for people at companies like the head of marketing or social media managers. That's how I connected with brands like Nike, and that's how BMW ended up reaching out to me. So instead of waiting for someone to magically discover you, take the initiative, send your video to the right people, introduce yourself, show them what you can do. And at the same time, let people in on your process. Post your work on social media, share behind the scenes clips, document your journey, even if it feels small. People love to see growth. They love to root for someone who's building from the ground up. The more you share, the more opportunities will find you. It's crazy. I have gotten more clients with my behind the scenes than I did actually with my finished product. Next thing you need to understand is that the more you stay consistent and put in reps, the more doors are open. At first, you feel like you're chasing clients, but if you keep practicing, improving, and posting, and eventually people will start chasing you. That's when you know you're building real momentum. Like I said earlier, below is a link where you can walk me for 90 days. This is for beginning filmmakers who want a step-by-step guidance, mentorship, and accountability. You don't have to figure this out on your own. You don't have to waste years trying to connect the dots. Together, we can fast track your growth and help you start turning your filmmaker dream into a career. So like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.